Hi, I'm Claire, your intuitive reader. Am I reading your story? Let's find out. If you're new here, welcome. This is the Koala Collective, and I'm Claire, your intuitive reader. And if you're returning, you've seen me before. And so I'm still excited. I'm still having a great day. I decided to try something a little different. I was thinking, today is going to be very word focused and symbols, kind of like creating our own legend for us. So I found this very interesting because I was going for a walk, and then just right there, not under anything, just laying there, was a 3 of diamonds playing card. On the back of it had some little worlds and some motorcycles. It's very interesting. I've never seen a card like that. And so I was like, I don't usually use playing cards, but what does that mean? And diamonds equal pentacles. So 3 of Pentacles, which is material, health, and it's something you're working on. And so I was like, maybe I should, do a reading about this. And then I have these amazing cards. These are called the Diviner Dictionary Oracle. I love this deck. It is one of my very favorite decks. I got it as a gift, and oh my gosh, it's incredible. Got it on Etsy. It's by, what's this person's name? You'd think there'd be more. There's, Dr. Michael Anthony. Dr. Michael Anthony. Isn't there a fairy or an angel? Michael. Yeah, there's one that's like protecting. So something about your health. So that's why I might be getting this, is something about your health needs to be looked into, because you're going through a renewal process. So you may feel a little run down, tired, like things are, are taking a lot longer to do because you're needing longer to recharge. You may be getting sniffles, and that's your body's way, that signal to tell you, hey, time to slow down, renew your energy. And renewal is the first thing it says, the act or process of making like new, repetition. And interesting, to clarify that card, we got cycle, repetition. So something about renewing your, renewing your energy by going through a cycle, not an unhealthy cycle, not a cycle of of doing things that aren't good for you. It's so when you take this action, so I kept getting a 4-leaf clover, and then that's corresponds to a wand. I saw the club here as a 4-leaf clover, so that's very interesting. So luck is on your side. The green, so really focus on your heart. You might want to make sure that you have good heart health right now. Checking on your cholesterol levels and your heart movement. Are you feeling a little more out of breath? Are things affecting you? How is the food you're intaking helping you grow and renew? Just like a plant. So I'm getting a lot of movement in that area about your health. And then healing. So yeah, that following the renewal on the cycle is healing. So this is a time of healing. You have the choice to what you do in this, though. I mean, like, everything you choose is going to have a positive or negative reaction. It's just like whatever you put out is going to either have the reaction of positivity or negativity. It's not, it's like a battery, positive, negative. You can't put one in the wrong side and have it work. And then purpose. So what's about the root of who you are? Why are you doing the things you're doing? I mean, like, you could be, if you have a dead-end job, but it's just barely paying the bills, that might be like, well, why are you doing all that just to pay the bills? Like, find something that you at least like. I mean, if you have to work at a fast food place, pick one that you like. Like, that you're going to have fun with, that you're going to be like, in my boring times during the pandemic, or when I was, didn't have anything to do, I put together these crazy concoctions and made my own creation. Enjoy whatever you do. If you're a janitor, like, like, what do you enjoy about this? Do you really like getting things clean? I mean, people used to want to be, garbage, sanitation workers. They were called garbage men back then. Um, and it was because they liked doing that. It was like this thing of doing some service for your community. So making sure you know why you're doing this. What is the purpose of everything you're doing? If it doesn't resonate, like, you have to pay bills, right? I get that. But find something as close to something that will fulfill you, and find your purpose in everything you do, doing a good job, working hard. I mean, I see these memes about people like, oh yeah, I see this person, they're just working so hard, not realizing that it's not going to bring them up in the world. But they are raising in the worlds because their purpose is to work hard. So when you always put in your 100%, it doesn't matter what somebody else gives you from the outside. It's about who you are and what you're getting out in the present moment. And then your last word card is spirit. So finding what, this can be a supernatural being. And I did start talking about Archangel Michael. And so that might be something you need to look into, some kind of protection. What are you doing for your, I keep noticing right now all these angels. So maybe that's really, I got this thing, I was going to have this conversation about angels and how angels are actually pretty fearsome. They have to be that to battle against, the dark, the not light. You can't be some fragile, poor little pathetic thing if you're an angel. You've got battle scars, you've got, damage, you've got trauma, you've got like all these different things, because that's how you earn your wings. It's not just like, oh, this is easy, I'm just going to lounge around. Isn't that kind of on the other side, the dark side? So, I've been getting a lot of things about like the force, and, it's just, when you're going on that line, that cycle, that path, there isn't any other options. It's like, because that just doesn't resonate with you. That doesn't. And if it's not, if you're noticing yourself like, oh, what does it matter? This isn't giving me what I want. Really ask yourself at the end of the day, what is making you happy? Are you happy doing this? I mean, I see all these people and I just don't get it. Like in politics and stuff. And I'm like, they looked a lot happier when they were not like trying to control everybody and in convincing everyone they were so happy. Like when you're happy, you actually never say to someone, I'm so happy, I'm so successful. You just live that because you're so busy being that you never mention it. Like that's the whole thing. The richest people are those people who say nothing about what that, because they're living it. If you're constantly hearing someone talk about, I'm so successful, I'm so happy, I have such the perfect life, I have this, do they? That's a lot of trying to convince themselves and others. So what I see is this is kind of like a game. Like make it fun. Like this is this is a strawberry shortcake journal. Like I'm a grown person. I'm surrounded by stuffed animals and other things, and that makes me happy. Who cares if somebody thinks that I'm, acting immature? I mean, really, honestly, at the end of the day, I have noticed I've had many different personas, and it didn't matter how, straight-laced or stiff or, up to the collar or very, hair up in those twists and stuff like that, and very straight-laced, or, just not even caring. They're going to judge you no matter what you do, because the brighter you shine, the more you renew into yourself, the more you grow, the more that there's just an expansion of who you are, the more that you're going to get those people that aren't going to like you. And we don't talk about all the amazing people that are liking you, because they're not making as much noise. So we have to kind of turn down the volume about like all these people that are saying this stuff about you, or talking and talking and talking, trying to convince us how unhappy we are with working hard, or being, just focused on a higher purpose. Oh, my voice. Yeah. Whenever I start talking about this stuff, it's so funny. My voice just closes up. And so this is not something that wants to be, there's a lot of energy that does not want this to be shared, that you literally are enough. Like, you don't have to try this hard. Like, honestly, if you stayed put and stopped putting in all this effort into, trying to be something that isn't ultimately making you happy, that's where the spell gets displaced. It gets dispelled, and the cycle ends. And that's when you start healing. I mean, this is a choice. It's hard to do because it means excavation, finding really what your true purpose is. And once you realize that it's to be a good person, it's to be a caretaker to this world, to others, to be kind. Once you discover that, they have lost their power over you. There's nothing they can do, nothing they can threaten that will get you off your path. And that's when the cycle ends. That's when spirit steps in and takes the wheel. And I just saw 11:11 and 11:22. I've been seeing that a lot today. So I'm going to spray this. This is rose water in my mouth because it does help. Whew. That was fun. And have fun. I mean, like, I have all these cool things all over this room and I often just sit down, do the readings, and I'm not really enjoying like all the cool stuff I have all over the place. I have a kaleidoscope, and maybe we're spending too much with like, get things done, do this, be perfect, show people how, you don't want anybody to make fun of you. I don't care. I mean, like, the funny thing is, where I grew up, I was like the only person who looked like me. And I got made fun of horribly for that. It just depends on where you are. They're going to pick on whatever it is. If they realize it's going to bother you, they're going to pick on you. And now my face is all wet. But anyway, so I'm going to get some tarot cards for you guys, because this is your reading, and get some clarity on these words. I'm going to pull the cards out, and wherever they fall on these cards, these word cards, down here, I'm going to see if I can angle this down. So it's like this. This is what I'm doing. Okay. I got it. I keep saying I'm going to get a better setup here. But the life is lifing. So thank you for bearing with me. Okay. 2 5s so far. So that's all about change. Ooh, okay. And that was on 5 of Wands, was sideways on healing. And then 5 of Pentacles is on choice. And then crossing them is the 2 of Pentacles. And I didn't get it on that reading I was talking about, but we got it now. So that balance. And then 6 of Wands. So that's the bridge between those. Let's see. Okay. Oh, interesting. Cycle and King of Swords. It's telling you to cut it out. Don't compromise on perpetuating cycles. Once you get into a cycle, once you feel it starting to go, you don't have to keep going with it. You can stop it right there. You don't have to be, you can be kind of cold about it. Like, nope, I'm done. No, thank you. Okay. Concealed on renewal, we have the 10, the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Cups. Very interesting on renewal. So like this is what I was talking about. So as the wheel turns, the renewal, there's this beast coming up, and you're having to stand, be alert that as you go through this renewal, there's going to be a lot that's going to come up. That's where I always see that I'm making progress. So I'll reach a certain point in my life, and then something from the past will come up. An issue that I had, I was like, oh, I'm doing great. I've got my life together, everything, nothing had knocked me off my stride. And it will be the one freaking thing, the one thing in the world that'll knock me off. And then I'm like, oh, here I am at the bottom of the Wheel of Fortune again, having to climb back up, and like deal with everything again. And when I reach this point, when I reach this truth, this renewal point, am I going to make a different choice? The universe is going to give you harder and harder lessons because it wants to see how far you've gone. Okay, and so over purpose, you got the Eight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Hanged Man. Ooh, okay, the purpose. This is a lot. I mean, this is about putting things in order. Like you have 8 and there's like 2 rows, right? And then you have the High Priestess, which is 2 pillars. So this is like getting everything within you in alignment. Like here we have the river at the end of life. It was believed that everybody would go on the river of into the underworld. And then the Hanged Man is about seeing things differently. And there's 2 boxes here. Seeing that, why are you doing the things you're doing? Are you doing it to be cruel? Are you doing it out of necessity? Like, I need to eat, so I'm going to eat these foods. Not eating, being a vegetarian isn't an option for everyone. And I do need people to understand, they're like, oh, that's healthy for everyone. And eating that is a choice. Not true. There are a lot of people that do not metabolize plant protein, even in high protein ways like soybeans or other legumes and stuff, so they can't actually absorb those nutrients. So they actually do need animal products. They don't need to eat excessive. They don't need to eat like all this stuff. They don't need to eat a rack of ribs, but they do need something different than you. So remember that what works for us does not work for someone else. And if we're focusing on our purpose, our renewal, our healing, not repeating cycles, and why we're making good choices. This is something I live by. Are you making good choices? And I think I want to make it part of this channel. Like, we're going to talk about making good choices, because I don't think everyone's been taught that. It's just like, it's really, are you soul of soul? What's your impulse here when you make a decision? Are you making a good choice? And so over spirit, you got 2 of Wands. And so this is about trying to figure out who you are, because here we have this I. It's like, who are you? Like, what is your focus here? How is spirit tapping in? This is your third eye. So this isn't in the physical. This is like, what are you taking action on? What are you questioning? You're questioning your interaction, the immaterial about the world. Okay. And then, oh, it flipped reversed, is the world, I think. Yep. The world is reversed. So the like as below, so above, or as above, so below. So that's very interesting that you got the 2 of Wands and the world reversed for spirit. So this is really telling you that there is something greater than ourselves. There is something that we are all tapped into, but we have to actually separate from that physical and make choices that are not just best for us in this moment, but best for us even if they're hard. Sometimes the best choice is going to actually cost you. It's going to be a sucky choice for you. I mean, think about being a parent or an animal, like if you an animal parent, or just being a friend. Sometimes it's not the greatest choice for you. You're like, I really don't want to do this. This is going to exhaust me, or I'm going to have to, not put my life or what I'm doing first. But it's the best choice. It's a good choice. And remembering that, like, if we're thinking about what's for the, here's the eye again. And the snakes that we saw from the wheel card, like choices. What are you using your third eye? Are you using your intuition? Are you seeing things from a greater perspective? Or are you seeing them in a sense of lack? Is this getting in the way of what I want? Because remember, in this card, in the wheel card, every time we choose, like if we fall off the wheel, we end up down here with these cobras, having to deal with our internal underworld of everything going, oh, I knew that was the wrong choice. I knew that was the wrong choice. It was the easy choice. It was the choice that would make my life easier, but in the long, it might have made that things easier in the moment, but in the long run, it didn't help you. Okay, let's see if there's anything else the universe, but you're doing great. I just want to let you guys know. I mean, you wouldn't even be listening to me. You wouldn't even be listening to this. You wouldn't be seeking out advice. I mean, to be real honest, it's not something a lot of people want to take responsibility for. They want to pretend. They have no idea. They want to say, oh yeah, I made the best choice. And they know they didn't. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to fall off the wheel again, have to get back up and be like, oh, okay, I guess I wasn't ready for that life lesson. I will do better next time. And you will. I mean, here with the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. And I love this. The Queen of Pentacles has what looks like she's a little pregnant. So once you make these good choices, like you would, if male or female, think about it. If you were carrying a person within you, you would want to make the best choices for them. But once that person is not in you, or you're not responsible for someone else, you may be making choices that aren't good for you. And so why are you making bad choices for yourself? Because they're easy, that you wouldn't make for someone else. That's going to keep you in a cycle where you're having a hard time. You're just renewing the trauma, the pain. And you're not getting to the place in the cycle of healing and finding your purpose. This is a path. And along the way, you can make all the plans you want. But along the way, through your healing process, you will find your true purpose. But you have to be open to looking at things differently. And you have to make sure that you're in alignment. Your chakras are in alignment. I'm really getting that, like here with the chakras. Here's the spinal column and the chakra line down the middle, keeping things even, keeping things in alignment so that they can move seamlessly around each other. Because remember, you got the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles is that infinity. So these are like gears. They're all connected like that. And they all move everything. That's how your body works. When everything's in alignment. And I was getting Ra earlier from the High Priestess here. And Ra is that eye, that sun disk. You see everything. You're aware of everything. You see the dark and the light. And so that is your purpose. Your purpose is to see things clearly and to make the best, to make good choices. Just make good choices. I know that's hard. I mean, but that's what I tell kids. That's what I tell people who come to me. I go, you know what a good choice is. So what is your instinct? This is just confirmation. What are your instincts telling you? Not your fear, because you won't make good choices out of fear. You'll only make good choices out of clear intention. And then I love this, to close this out, the Two of Cups. And see the stairway? Look at, this is so cool. Because remember I was talking about the cobras down here? And it may feel like you have to start all over, that you have to literally, reinvent the wheel. But this is showing you that there's a staircase. There's actually, if you fall down, if you make a bad choice, it's a lot easier for you to get back up the path because you're not falling down as far. You've already made a way up. All the work you've done, this is just a cycle. So when you get to this point of you're like facing, a truth, a challenge, a test on your path, if you make a mistake, that's life. Your heart is going to be weighed through your intentions, through your choices. And so when now you can climb back up and you don't have to start all over again. And this is a lot safer, because once you get up to this point, you're in this cupped energy, this cradle of energy, because you've done all that work. So you are actually you're moving ahead with each time that you face this challenge. And then when you do, you're going to reach a point where it's going to be a lot easier. If you fall, you're just going to fall right here. It's going to be more like taking a bath, taking the time to focus on your renewal, your health. And I just noticed the camera's crooked. Oh, well. Make good choices. Not everything's perfect. And hey, I'm Claire, your intuitive reader. This is the Koala Collective. Roxy's over here sleeping, snoring away. And, welcome. I'm just going to hang out with you guys more because, not a ton of people watch my videos, and I'm cool with that because, it finds the people it's meant to. And that means that I can just hang out with you and, enjoy myself. It is pretty weird talking to a camera, but I can feel you guys out there, and I love you, and thank you for joining me. I'm getting warm, so I'll probably need to go and rest a little bit, drink some water, rehydrate, maybe eat a little something. I think I'm getting a little hungry. Okay, maybe you need to eat something. Make good choices. Make good choices. Claire, the intuitive reader's #1 lessons for today is good choices. So I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.